Okay, I'm going to show you how to do what's called feature selection in Weka, and you can use this to help you with the MDS multi-dimensional scaling project. Um, it, it's a way to limit the number of words that are going to appear in the multi-dimensional scaling picture because each word is considered a variable or a feature, and so this is a way to select features. Okay, first of all, let me just show you a command that you can use. You see this command here at the bottom. If I can open this more, you can see it, but I guess I can't. All right, let me try this. If you use this command, this part right here says use this much memory, 1200, 1.2 gigabytes of memory. So if you want to use more memory in Weka, you can use this. Now you have to make sure that this is the correct path to this file called weka.jar. So you might have to change this part or something to make sure that it's the right path. And you can't see the end here, so I'll just do that. Okay, maybe you could see the end. Okay, so anyway, I guess I don't need to do that. So it needs to look like this. And then I think there's supposed to be a space in between here. And then you can open up Weka using this command, and you can control the amount of memory you're using. There's another way to do this, but by changing a file in Weka, and then it will automatically use the amount of memory that you write in that file. But anyway, I used that down here. Oh, you have to do this in the command prompt. So I did it here down at the bottom, and then if I hit enter, Weka is going to open up like that, and then you can open up one of the interfaces like the Explorer one that we've been using, like that. Okay, now I'm going to work on a file for MDS and for feature reduction. You can find it here. And it's a CSV file, and you're going to see that it doesn't open properly, so I'll have to fix it. So I open it, I get this error. And it says there's an error on line 13402. So maybe I should try and see what that is. So I'll open it up. And right click on it and open it with Notepad. And it looks like this. It's comma delimited, but has some problem on line 13402. See if I can. 13402. So this line apparently has some problem. So maybe we can see what it is, or maybe we can't. Let's see. 13402 is here. First of all, it's not English. So I don't know what that problem is. Could be an error problem on the previous line. Could be, for example, these extra quotation marks here. That's probably it. Like this one especially. This one here, by the way, this quotation along with this backslash is called an escaped quotation. So that actually is not supposed to cause a problem, but it might be anyway. So I think it's probably might be this line here because this quotation probably shouldn't be there. So I'm just going to eliminate that. Like, that, for example. I guess I'll eliminate two of them there. And backspace again. I didn't introduce any extra spaces, hopefully. Okay, now I'll try it again, see what happens. So I'll save it. And try and open it now. Okay, it worked. Okay, so that was lucky. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now, sometimes it looks like this process I'm going to use takes a long time, but I'll stop the video and it'll go through and then I'll resume it again. Okay, now for this process, oh, okay. So actually, I think that when you do feature selection, most of the time, I might be wrong, but most of the time, the feature selection process wants to know what the class variable is. So you have to select the value that you're trying to predict. And so I usually, if I'm going to do that, I'd like to have the sentiment be the value that I'm trying to predict. But this data set doesn't have sentiment. So first, I'm going to run this through the annotator program that we have. So I'll do that now. So that's in the tools for tweets, and it's in the new annotator. And I need to get a copy of this file here and put it in the new annotator folder. And then I need to open up the new annotator here. And I want to open that file. This one. And I want to save it as wine annotated .csv and start. Now this is going to take a while, so I'll pause it. Okay, so actually that took about almost 10 minutes to complete, so it does take a while. Okay, so now I have that, and so let's see, I'll close this and find it. Okay, here it is. I'll make a copy of that. Put it back, put it in here. And now I'll try opening this up, see if I get a problem with that. And I guess I need to do this, but first I'm just going to see if it opens. No, I guess I need to do that. I think it's which field is it? That is the text field. I guess I should check that. So it's the ABCD fourth field. So I need to make that, need to indicate that. And it opened up, although something's wrong here. Try that again. Oh well. Let me try that again. Something's wrong with my computer. Okay, there, I guess it's working, sort of. Something's wrong, but, okay. So, now I'm going to eliminate some of these fields before I even start to eliminate other fields. And the only one I'm going to leave in terms of these new sentiment variables that we created in the annotator program is the last one, that one. So I'm going to remove all the other ones. So now I only have text, and actually just want to show you one other thing. Let me undo that. Suppose I wanted to make sure that I'm just going to show you how to do this, but it's not the correct thing to do now. It's not necessary now. But suppose I wanted to make the location the last in this list. So the way you can do that is you can use a filter here. It's here and here. It's on unsupervised attributes, and it's called reorder. So I'm reordering them here. And the way this works, so let's see, I have right now, I have 15. And suppose I want the, let's say I want the location to be the 15th one. So I want to reorder it in that way. So, sorry, oops, don't need to do that. Click over here on apply. No, sorry, click here. And you can read about sort of how this works. We're going to use something like this right here. So what I want is, I want location, which is the 5th one, to be the last one. So what I can do is I'll leave the 1st through 4th as they are. So I write 1-4, comma, and you don't put any spaces in here. It doesn't like that. And if you try like capital letters, it doesn't like that. Okay, then so 1 through 4 are going to be there. And then the next one that I want is not the 5th one, not location, but the 6th one. So 6 through 14. And then I want the 5th one, the location one. So if I do this, then it's going to reorder them, putting location at the end. Okay, so I click OK and click Apply. And now it should be that location is at the end. Okay, actually I didn't need to do that here, but I'll just want to show you that, because actually I'm going to use that filter a little bit later. So I'm going to get rid of all of these except for the... Okay, so if I remove all of those, I just have these two. So it didn't matter about that, what I did to location just before, because... Okay, now we want to transform this into what's called the term frequency matrix, or I want to break up the text into words, like we've done several times already. So I'm going to do that here, string to word vector. And the settings I have to use are the same as usual. The text one is the first field, so you can just write first, or you can write 1. And this one you have to change to true. And I want to make all the words lowercase. And I'll come back to this one in a minute. Output, yes. Output the word counts, yes. And stop word, use the stop list, yes. Anything else down there? No. Okay, and then this one, we have to play around with it. So let's say I start with, say, 25. Or let's make it even more. Let's make it 40. Let's see what I get. How many do I get? This depends on how big the file is. Okay, click OK. And let's try to apply it. Okay, how many did I get? Alright, that's not so bad. Well, but for this MDS, I don't want to have so many words. Anyway, I think I'll leave it like that. Alright, now I want to show you how to do this select attributes, which is over here. And there are several different ways to do it. So here's one. And you have to choose a search method, but you can just leave it. Sometimes the search method doesn't work for the attribute evaluator, so then it will tell you that, and it'll sort of set it for you. So I want to make the last. Have to say what I'm I'm trying to predict. So that's here, center emo. And now I'll click start. Now this also seems to take a very long time. So I'll just start it and then I'll pause. Okay, so this one didn't take that long. And now from those, whatever it was, 400 attributes, it selected these. Still quite a number of them. In fact, how many are there? There were originally 483, and now there are, how many? Not sure. Okay, now there are, if you scroll all the way to the end, there are 78, which is still actually too many. I don't want to have that many. It's going to make a messy picture for what we're trying to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save this, save the results, and then I'm going to sort of do this again. So okay, so you can see here that from the 482, it's selected attribute number 17, number 19, number 74, number 75, number 79, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this list. If I can. And I'm going to go back to here. Now, actually, before I do this, well, yeah, I guess I'll do that. I should have saved this before, but I didn't. Okay, so anyway, I will go back and use that reorder filter. And this time, I'm going to put in this list. And what that does is it just selects those attributes. So only the ones in this list. So when I do that, before I had 444, but when I run this, it only selects those that were in the, so I only have 78 now. Okay? But actually, like I said, this isn't really enough of a reduction, but just for convenience, I'm just going to save this. And by the way, it's always better to use to convert things to ARF files and use them. It seems to work better. Weka seems to work better when you do that. But anyway, I'm just going to save this, and then I'm going to undo everything I've done. Maybe I can't do that. Oh, one thing you have to do is you want to uncheck this. So I didn't uncheck this before, so I got some other dialog box, and that causes a problem usually. So I'll do it again. I'll save it again and click save. And now it says it already exists because I just did it before. But I need to, if I go back and check what I just did before, it probably is an empty file. So that's why I'm doing this again. So with that box unchecked, and I click yes here. Now it probably is not an empty file. Okay, now I'm going to undo what I did here, and I'm going to undo again. So I'm back to here, and just for convenience, I'm going to save this before I do anything else. So I'll just save this as text only. And don't click this when you're saving files. Make sure that's not clicked. Okay, now I'm going to try going back and doing this again. Don't know why that's so big. Okay, so let's see, this should be still first, and this is true. It seems strange. Lowercase is also true, and what else? Output word counts is true, and this other one, use stop list, is true. Okay, now here I think, what did we do before? It wasn't really enough. So my file is kind of big. I think it has like more than 15,000 records. So because of that, I'm going to try something like 75 here. And apply that. Now how many do I start with? Now I only have 212. Okay. So maybe if I run the select attributes this time, and you could, what I'm going to ask you to do is try different attribute evaluator methods. So by the way, if I choose this one, let's see, and I try to run it, first I have to change this to sentiment. Sometimes let's see, if I choose a different one, like this one, well, let's see, if I try to run different ones, this one I don't want to choose actually. This, oh yeah, I get this kind of message. I get this kind of message here. It says you have to choose a different search method for this particular one. By the way, don't use this one. I don't think this works very well, the latent semantic analysis. Maybe it does, I'm not sure. So you say, should I select a ranker search method for you? And you say yes, so it will choose a different one. Alright, I'll go back and use the first one. I also get that same message again. Actually, you can't see it here. Yeah, you can see it. So I click yes. Okay, and I'm going to try it again now. So start. And let's see what it gives us. I'll pause. Okay, that didn't take too long actually. And now I have how many? Whoops. Now I have how many? Not so many. Let's see. Here's the list. 49. That's better. But that's still maybe too many. But anyway, I'll try with that. So what I'd like you to do is play around with this a few times, and then try each one of these in the MDS application and see if you can get a map in MDS that looks readable. And readable means, I guess, you don't have too many of these, too many attributes, too many words. Alright, so let's try it with this list. So I go to here, copy it, go back to preprocess, go back to reorder, and click here and put that list in here. Click OK and apply it. Okay, so now I only have 49. Okay, so now I'm going to save this result. This time I can save it as an R file just for convenience. For later, perhaps. And I'll also save it for the MDS process as a CSV file. Make sure again that this is not checked. And now that's saved. Actually, you don't really want that sentiment in there, but I guess I can leave it in there. Maybe it'll be interesting. Actually, it's not in there. Where did it go? Oh, we got rid of the sentiment because we didn't include it when we did the reordering. And actually, come to think of it, I don't really want this. And anything else I really don't want. And you could actually, now, you could prune this a little bit. So I don't think I want that. These are about, this are tweets about wines. I'm going to get rid of that. This doesn't really mean anything. These are not so informative, these words, but yeah, let's see. Alright, and this I don't want that. So I'll remove these, and then actually I'll save it again. So I'll rewrite it. Okay. Okay, so we have that, and now you can do the MDS process. So I want you to go back and redo this again, and I want you to explain the pruning process that you use. So some of you didn't do that in the last project, and also don't forget to include your stock price chart and the frequency chart and the sentiment chart in the PowerPoint. And also I'm looking for some interesting observations, and I'll show you somebody's work which was good, and this might help you to make a better one. So this student did Toyota, and they did the stock price and the frequencies and so on. They also looked into the history of Toyota, and they found that in February Toyota recalled thousands of cars, and in March Toyota was sued over deaths in crashes. So this might affect, of course, the sentiment and the price. So they made the graphs, and they described their pruning policy, and the map was here, and this is good. But the thing is, there must be. It would be nice if you could play around with this and figure out how to make the words larger, so that we could actually read them. And this is good because it's pretty spread out. I don't know why it turned out to be so spread out. A lot of times these are not so spread out. But this, and there should be some way to actually control that. But anyway, it would be good if you could make these, figure out how to make these words bigger. And then after they did this one, they did this. So they kind of looked at groups of words and saw that these words were related to the braking issue, and these words were related to Toyota was sued, and these are media news. So you should look at your words and try and come up with relevant groups if you can. And they also made some observations, some interesting observations. I asked you to make some intelligent observations about this map, about these groupings, and so on. So I'd like you to do that again, and you can use this pruning method, or sorry, this feature selection method as part of your pruning policy. And make sure that you turn this in as a PowerPoint, and make it a nice PowerPoint, and also send all of your data. So send the stock price, send the original data set, send the if possible, send the transformed file as well, so where you make the frequency matrix. And if you can't send it by email, you can just deposit it with a good name. So a good name might be the name of the subject, so this might be Toyota, and then also your name. You can also deposit that, or you could deposit that into our class folder in the folder system at APU. Okay, that's all.